All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Youngstown's Talk Channel. Joe and Kelin in the morning. Can you scooch this way? There's a camera there, and want to make sure you're not blocking it. There we go. All right. Welcome, everybody.
Squeeze.
Today in studio, we have Mr. November. We have Mike in studio here. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Kelin, what is going on, my friend?
First of all,
Yeah.
I'm childish.
Yeah.
And all I can think is I want to tell people, not Mr. November in the calendar, right?
No, maybe that is. Maybe that's the reference. Is it
like,
Mr. November? The
have
calendar?
you ever been like Mr. November?
No.
No.
Because that's what I was like. Oh, we're having Mr. November. I was like, really? Not the Mr. November everyone's thinking.
All right.
But still cool.
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter, yeah.
All right. So the SAVE Act, we made this prediction earlier in the week, I said there's no way in hell that the SAVE Act actually passes the Senate, and cloture is going to be on the docket here in the coming days. So both of you kind of know where everything's at with the SAVE Act.
A little bit.
Okay. It's going to require 60 senators to end debate, right? And I predict that there's no way in hell you're going to get 8 Democrats to sign off on cloture to pass this thing through. I think it's dead. What do you guys think?
Not getting 60. You're not getting one Democrat to sign off on it.
Not a single one.
No.
I'm surprised they didn't filibuster it to begin with, but cloture it's a dead deal.
Yeah, I mean, anything that requires them to pass, to push forward, that was ultimately brought by the other side will die if at all possible. If at all possible. Speaking of which,
Yes.
I saw somebody, they shared something about, I don't know if you guys know anything about this. It was a bill that Trump just said no to, that Democrats wanted. Oh, that would have started to pay TSA, I believe. Does anyone know why he said no? Because everyone's like, he's just not
So
wanting
every
to pay
budget
him.
item is a leverage chip now.
Yeah.
And negotiation and the horse trading that goes for votes. They're using it to pressure. These are human beings that they're using as leverage chips to get what they want. And the Democrats have outright said that they are, one of the few things that they have because it's unpopular. The problem with the public is getting desensitized to holding human beings as leverage chips, and it's not as effective where there's no outrage. Like you're not a TSA agent. You're the one not receiving a paycheck right now. So it's just like, it's just another one of these. So it's not effective.
Yeah, it's either the military's not getting paid or TSA's not getting paid or government workers aren't getting. It's never them. It's never them. But they could just be like, oh, we'll throw in this piece of bullshit and then this piece and then if they want to say no because it's bullcrap in there, then we'll just make them look like the bad guy for saying no. And that's kind of why I was wondering, like, what is it that was slid in there that he said no to? That way they could say he just doesn't want to pay people.
Yeah, he doesn't want to pay them, so he could blame the Democrats. And the Democrats say that he's not paying them, so he can blame the Republicans. And it's that cycle that's dumb as could be.
Round and
that's
round
just how it works.
go.
That's just how it works, though. Would you, if you're a politician and no one's going to just straight up vote for things, it's going to be trading one favor for another, would you be a straight up vote for on your conscience, or would you be part of that, taking those markers and making those trades and deals?
I mean, I'd like to say I would have a conscience and use it, but
for the first week.
Yeah, I was like, but then you're going to see how
you get in there and you get the options to not have a conscience anymore.
Yeah, because
or you see if you do, then you get nowhere.
The best feeling in the world is having a favor owed to you, because you could call that marker in and get your way when it matters most. So assembly of those O's are very valuable in government.
Yeah.
And I think most people go into public service with good intentions until they get there and realize, man, I can make a lot of money doing this, or I can get money from this guy doing that, or doing this and doing that. And then that's why you have all the stalemates that you have in Congress every single year.
Yeah. Starts from a desire to serve, but quickly is just a career.
But that's just how the system works. So as much as we don't like it, it's just how it is.
But why? But why can't we change it? Oh, because they would have to vote themselves.
But it's human behaviors. None of that stuff is on the docket. Like the favor, that's just what human beings do. We do it in real life. So why would you think government would be any different?
I don't like it.
The only control you have is not to vote for the people, and then you have empty halls of Congress because nobody is not going to do that. That's where all of their prosperity comes from.
What's worse, an empty hall of Congress or full of people doing nothing?
Well, the Democrats would argue that they are the linchpin for all of humanity. Without government, life ends. And the Republicans aren't quite anarchists, right? But they want less of it, so they would cheer a little bit if there were less people there.
Well, they say they want less, but legislation that's going on this proves otherwise. I mean, they want
100%.
One guy to be in control of everything all the time, and you know who that guy is. So,
and I looked at earlier in the week that Trump quote about when Mueller died.
Passed away, yeah.
And I started reading that it was a hoax, that he didn't really post it and whatever, and I dug into it, and he absolutely said that shit. And so, like, I wanted to make sure I didn't get hooked by some, misinformation. But yeah. it was. I'm still very appalled by that. That's why I bring it up a second time.
So he basically said, like, good.
He said, literally said good.
Yes, and then he didn't back away from it either.
No, he did not. But and that's important that we are so tolerant. Where the most part that any kind of violence, any kind of rhetoric that, I don't know, that it devalues life, is so common now to take an enemy and wish ill on them or wish they die. We're not even shocked by that.
Yeah. Or, not even be surprised if they do, or God forbid, some people say so-and-so deserved it because of something they said or whatever. And it's like, ugh. Oh, Melissa.
Melissa, good morning. And she says, so much misinformation and now bad behavior is being blamed on AI. Our leader can't say that all. It's wonky and wrong. Mentally ill people act on that crap for sure. And, they did a couple of, where they go through the public and they do interviews and they get common person's perspective on things. Mm-hmm. They asked a lot about, when Butler, Pennsylvania happened, how many people really wish that Trump did get shot or that the shooter missed. And surprisingly, a majority of the people they interviewed, now they probably cut out the people who were like, no, nobody should die. And they just profiled the people who said that. But there was an alarming amount of people who would have been happy had that happened.
Wasn't Rob Reiner one of the people who spoke out like, oh, too bad they missed or
they
something?
Hated each other. Cats and dogs.
Yeah, everyone kind of got mad about Trump's sort of harsh reaction to the passing of Rob Reiner. But then everyone's like, did you see what Rob Reiner said about him? Like, had it been...
Well, do you think the president should be above board where he shouldn't get pulled into those kind of... Like, the public, we're the rabble-rousers. We're allowed to do that kind of shit. But an official in that capacity, do you think he should really be able to get away with that?
Ideally, I would like to see the president of the United States be the bigger person and have a bit more decorum. I don't blame him for not. I can't really say it's fair, like he's the opposite. He gets down there and now like the White House social media since he's been in is all about like poking fun and taking shots at people when they can and saying what everybody is thinking. I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Okay.
I'm on the fence.
Yeah, you need to be better than, you're the president. You need to be better than talking shit. Like,
be the standard.
On that level. Yeah, absolutely. But when you're surrounded 24/7 by people that tell you everything you do and everything you say is correct at all times, there's nobody to hold you accountable. You can go out and say, yeah, I'm glad that dude's dead. And 2 minutes later, nobody even remembers it anymore. Nobody cares. You're not going to lose votes. You're not going to, nobody's going to vote to impeach you on it. It's just the way it is. It's another day.
Yeah. Well, what president do you think broke that? Because I can think back as far as I can, and they all started dabbling in the rhetoric of politics rather than just the, sort of the high standard of being above all of that. Because I can think Biden was bad at it. Obama was bad at it. George W. Bush was probably the last one that tried not to dabble, and he got absolutely obliterated because of it.
Well, which is interesting because wasn't it Michelle Obama that had the whole like when they go low, we go high?
Yeah, but they never
sink to that level.
They never practiced that because there was politically advantageous to participate in the rhetoric and play the politics side. So now as soon as they can do that, like Trump probably sat there and said, is it illegal? Can I get away with it? I'm absolutely doing it, because it's advantageous.
Yeah, I mean, like, how long can you be the only one that's taking the moral high ground and showing integrity? And you're the only one. How long can you do that?
Right. So that's just what we get.
Or has it been going on forever? And your timeline going back is basically when social media started and when you were able to see it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Clinton and Bush Senior, and I mean, you hear stuff Nixon said.
Right.
But you didn't read about it on your phone in bed at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Because like
That's
historically, when they were at the podium, they were probably as pure as you could be. And then once you left that podium and the stenographers weren't there,
you're F that guy. And then that wasn't in the paper.
Then it was all hearsay. Oh, I heard he said this. I heard he said that. Whereas Trump can directly go ahead and say it to the public. And
hot mic.
Yeah. Well, we used to also put top hats on and take our best on airplanes too. So we had our own decorum that when we went to a special place, we behaved a special way. And I think all of that is just gone and people just act foolishly everywhere now. It's just we're comfortable in it.
I heard recently that whoever they are thinking about bringing that back, like making a dress code for an airport or for a flight. Now that would be difficult to enforce, but there have been discussions I've seen on the news of like, do we need to bring back the self-respect of dressing for a flight?
I think the head of TSA said that he wants people to dress up.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it came from him. Fortunately, if I have to be on a 5-hour flight, I want comfortable pants on and slip-on shoes and a hoodie. I'm not wearing.
Which I don't even think that's that bad. But there are people like he was talking about, like when you show up in your pajamas or wearing hardly anything. I don't even understand how girls can show up with skinny tank tops and crop tops because I'm cold on flights. I don't know how they're not freezing. But he's like, why do we have to see so much of everybody because you're getting on a plane? Just put clothes on. And I'm like, I don't hate that idea.
What if we raise the ticket prices on airlines so only people of a certain economic strata could afford to fly? You get rid of the poor folk on there and you don't have the Spirit Airline flyers.
I mean, and again, you could still you can have loungewear, you can have hoodies, you can have, there's like very comfortable clothing that is still proper clothing.
But the real point is that you want to eliminate people who now won't fly because you have a dress code. Those are the problematic people that are on flights. Raising it up.
But what about the people that are not problematic, that do dress and can't afford to fly if you raise it? Is that punishing
you got to solve
them?
the problem somehow, and you're going to have some of those casualties in the middle that weren't part of the problem, but you have to do something.
But is it a problem?
Maybe it
We're
is
solving a problem. What's the problem?
Yeah, it's an annoyance.
So Google Spirit Airlines and problems and see what kind of problems happen on low fare airlines. What the people come in there and they cause problems and they have fights and they get the attendants involved and they get kicked off planes and whatever. Like if that kind of low standard person is on your flight, you want to make them not be on there. You have to do something. Dress code might do it. Background check, making it harder for them in some way not to take that flight.
Yeah. You could also close all the Applebee's and hope people go to high-end restaurants too.
Maybe. But again, it's just thought experiment on how to get rid of the problematic people. And if that's your real cause to, kind of force high standards on the public.
Well, what would be easier, raising the prices and hoping the poorly dressed are weeded out, or just saying, nope, you can't come in here dressed like that?
Might be easier.
Turn them around at security or check-in or whatever.
Can we go like tails and top hat though? I mean, if we're going to go there.
That might be on a plane?
Yeah, and the matter of speech can be, we can require Old English rather than regular English.
Thank you for this flight.
Exactly. Monocles everywhere. That would be fun.
Done a ship-shape job flying this aircraft.
We'll be there in a jolly good time.
Meanwhile, Spirit Airlines will just serve Old English, and then you'll have more problems.
Yeah. I mean, you'd probably have to then cut alcohol on planes because it's like,
should.
I can't have you dressing like that and becoming intoxicated.
Or instead of limiting alcohol, make it like top shelf bourbons, top shelf alcohol, and then the people who shouldn't be pounding
mid-shelf wine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, put it on the top shelf and just serve the best, and then people don't get hammered with cheap Fireball on there. They if you're gonna drink, you're gonna do it with some class.
Sometimes people will say the name of alcohol or liquor, and I'm just like,
what, Fireball?
Yeah, not even so much Fireball, but it just made me think of like doing shots in a moving plane. Just makes me want to yak.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay. So speaking of wine, you're a connoisseur, right? You like your wine?
I do not discriminate. Correct. Yeah. I wouldn't say I know what I'm drinking or a connoisseur, but I'll drink it. Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I like
favorite type.
Pinot Noirs.
Oh, I'm a Pinot person.
Cabernets I like.
Okay. You like sweet or you like dry?
I kind of like somewhere in the middle. I used to only like sweet. And then as I got older, I leaned more dry, which I've heard happens. I heard that like whatever you start with, you will go in the opposite direction.
Okay. Any truth to that, Mr. Mike?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like when you start drinking beer and you're drinking the cheapest beer you could find, playing beer pong in the basement, and then you get older and you don't want to drink that shit anymore. You want nicer, whatever, But yeah, same thing with wine. I would only drink sweeter wines, and I make a ton of wine. But if I'm at home myself and I'm drinking the dry reds.
Yeah, like it was only like I would only do like Riesling or Moscato, and that was kind of it. And then anything that was like a what's the word I'm looking for? What's the really dry kind of wood like you'll learn I don't have a vocabulary anymore because I've been giving up sugar, but it's going to come back one
Cabernet?
day. No, drier than that. Like a what is the word I'm looking for?
Just throw out terms that are Mike.
There's a Sangiovese, it's dry, Cabernet, Merlot.
There we go. Thank you. Merlot. Yeah, to me would be like very, very dry. But now it's like, now I don't mind a Merlot or something. I'm kind of like still in the middle. But I also really like Prosecco. Does that count as a wine? That's a wine, right? Prosecco? Yeah. I like that. And that's still pretty sweet.
What's popular in the wine world right now? What would you say your bestseller is?
My bestseller is probably Cab, just because it's consistent. Bars, restaurant, they serve Cab. You can't really. There's not many places that sell wine or serve wine and don't have a Cab. So, I sell more Cab than anything.
Is there anything that, like, if somebody ordered it, you'd be like, "Oh, you know what you're doing," or is it all pretty?
No, because I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. You know what I mean? I make it. I think I make a good product, but I'm not a wine connoisseur.
You don't like swish it around and put it on the back palate and the front palate and spit it out.
Woodsy squirrel nuts.
Oh, this has been aged 35 years.
Yeah, no, I get a lot of those that do wine events and stuff, and people ask those questions. Is it sweet or is it dry? Like, it's strawberry watermelon. What do you think?
Yeah. Like, do you hold?
You ever have a dry strawberry before?
Do you hold the stem? Like, does it matter? I've always heard it. Like, the reason there are wine glasses and like high stems and low stems or rocks, it's all about how it breathes. Do you care about that, or is it
no? And the stem is, I believe, so your hands, your fingers don't, your body temperature doesn't touch the glass. That actually it makes the wine warmer or colder or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're supposed to like. Yeah. But then what if you drop it?
You're not going to drop
after a couple of glasses. Oh, no one's ever dropped their drink before.
Yeah, those you should lose your alcohol license if you drop.
That's when you're cut off.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't hold the stem any
longer. Do you drink room temperature or chilled?
I like both.
Really?
I like sweeter ones. Obviously, I kind of want chilled. Drier is room temperature.
Okay.
I'd say. But
there's a lot of chemistry that goes into winemaking, right?
Yes and no, I guess. Not really.
Yeah, I'm super interested about this. So tell me, like, when you're going through the process, like, how painstaking is it going from onset to deliverable product?
It's really not that. It's, for me, for what I do, like with juice and stuff, it's like 4 steps. You add the stuff, add yeast, ferment it. 2 weeks later, rack it, add a couple more things. 2 weeks after that, rack it again. Next day or so, filter it, and then bottle it. So it's really only like 5 or 6 steps. But if you're getting a pallet of grapes and crushing grapes and destemming, it's a long process and it's a lot of work. But once you start it, it just sits there in a barrel or in a carboy and does what it's supposed to do. It's not like every day you have to put in an hour a day into this carboy. No, you just look at it.
My neighbor used to make Dago Red in his garage, and this was
That sounds offensive.
Why?
I'm not repeating it. Go on.
Is that an offensive word?
Isn't that an offensive
Is
word?
it bad?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure that's a slur for Italian people.
Right, but it was the product was actually called Dago
I know,
Red. That's how
I
he
know,
referred to
because-
his product. I'm just
Depends on how you use it, I guess.
and it was like a month process to watch this guy like get grapes, crush them down, filter them out, put it in. He had pressure gauges, and he let pressure off every once in a while. Did some additives. Like he was serious about it. I don't know that old Italian guys do that anymore.
Yeah.
Not as much as they used to. No, like when I started, I've been making wine for like, I don't know, almost 10 years now. When I started, you would go to like a wine event, they see like the local wine events or something, wine tastes, and there'd be 25 people entered. If you find one nowadays, they just had one in Struthers at Simona Valley Club, I think, you might get 10 or 12 people tops.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, they just don't do it anymore.
Have you ever stomped grapes? You ever tried that?
No.
I want to try that.
You've watched too many like 50s
I Love
television
Lucy.
shows.
Listen, tell me that didn't used to be a thing. That was a thing,
Listen,
right?
that is the grossest thing ever invented by human beings. Okay, we
People
have tools.
drank that.
Feet are not tools. There should not be near edible products ever at all.
Julie says she likes Chardonnay. That's another good one too.
What's that? Is that the white one?
White, yeah. White drier.
What is the difference between red and white? Is it just
Color.
grapes? The different
Color.
grapes types?
There's white and red. Yeah, it's all. I mean, it's all your grape type. But like a Pinot, there's a Pinot Noir, there's Pinot Grigio. And I'm not an expert on this by any means, but I mean, all wines are basically traced back to the grape variety. So you got red grapes, purple grapes, white grapes. But yeah, your white wines come from white grapes, and your red wines come from red grapes.
What makes it dry or sweet? Is it just added sugar?
It's amount of sugar.
Okay.
And there is I don't say legal, but there is an actual percentage or like a term. If you're like, oh, I like this wine, it's dry. Like, no, it's not. Technically, there is a sugar count or, the residual sugar that goes into
there's like
it
a cutoff.
Yes. So whether you think it tastes dry or sweet, it technically is based on the sugar count.
Yeah, because I might think a Pinot Noir is like kind of middle ground, but someone else might think it's really dry. But really, it's what's in it. There is a way to say it is sweet or it is dry, regardless of what your taste is, I guess.
Yes. Like a lot of wines that I make, like my Chardonnay, for example, Chardonnay is typically a really dry wine. I add wine conditioner, just a little bit of wine conditioner to sweeten it up because I don't like a super
I've never heard
sweet.
of that.
I don't like a super sweet, super dry wine. So I add a little bit of wine conditioner to my Chardonnay to just make it, honestly, taste a little better, but taste
Wine
better than
conditioner.
it's just basically sugar.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, is this something that you put in the bottle when you make it, or you can add to a glass? Like if someone's like, I really
put
like
it in the
this
carboy
flavor,
before
but
I bottle it, but
yeah.
I probably wouldn't recommend putting it in a glass. It's just like a syrup, like a sugar syrup.
So
Listen, you're trying to get away from sugar, and now you're asking how you can make yours
curious.
sweeter.
I'm just curious.
No, this is the addiction talking.
If somebody said, "Oh, this is really, really dry, but I like the flavor," can you put something in it, keep the flavor, make it sweeter? Like, can you at their
Freaking
table
heroin
sort of?
I mean, you probably could. You could get those little squirt things you put in your drinks.
Or would you say, grow up and drink a dry
Yes,
wine?
do that. Pick a different flavor. Jeez. See, they all want you to just change the recipe for their taste when you offer 9,000 different recipes.
I'll drink anything.
See,
I'm
Kelin,
saying, what if
just so
somebody
entitled.
is like,
entitled.
I hate you.
Anyway, from the business side, did you wear like in your garage operation and then went into a facility and then did distribution? Kind of tell me how that all came to be.
In a bathtub somewhere,
go.
like moonshine.
A friend, my buddy Nick, he made this wine that was, I mean, I like to drink, but I never really got into wine. And I started drinking Nick's wine, and it was the best wine I ever had. And he gave me, I did some work for him one time, and he gave me like the supplies to start making wine. And I didn't make it for a while. And then finally I got around to making it and followed his recipe. Came out good, but it wasn't as good as his. So I'm like, I got to try it again. And went from one carboy in my basement to two. I'm like, all right, I could sweeten this up a little bit. And then started talking to people that know what they're doing. Excuse me. And got some advice. Hey, you can add this to it. And then just kind of came up with a red wine that I got where I really liked it and it was good. So I just started making it. So 1 carboy turns into 2. Now I got 8 carboys in the basement and, just going from there and going from there. I started entering like wine competitions in the area and stuff like that and doing really well in them. And then just decided one day that I'm going to lose a ton of money and start a business. And,
live on the edge.
like,
Yes, go
I think
for it.
I'll do
Yes,
this
exactly.
as a living.
How did you start getting in restaurants and in any store shelves that you might be in?
Just from knowing people, that's the hardest part, is getting your product out there. Because it would be ideal to be in every Giant Eagle and every Walmart, but you can't. They're not locally owned, and you have to go through corporate, and you have to essentially pay for shelf space and be part of like Range Me is a company that sells products. You have to be involved with that, and it's very, very hard to get without distribution and without money and without super close ties.
And you got to probably give up a lot of your margin to even get on the shelves in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
They make it very disadvantage to the local wineries for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Now, does our area have a good support base for like in Ashtabula? They do the wine tours where they hit like 5 or 6 wineries. Is our area pretty supportive of your industry?
No, not in that sense. Well, the thing with what I do is I don't have a winery.
Mhm.
I'm a wine manufacturer.
Right.
So you can't come to like my winery and have a glass of wine and sit down and, go to the winery next door.
Right.
I have a building in Struthers where I manufacture wine.
Got it.
So I'm not part of that group per se of, hey, let's hit up all the wineries,
Right.
Like I do the Columbiana Wine Fest, which is a great time out in Columbiana. They do it this year. It's in June 6th. And they pass out this little card where if you get your wine, if you go there throughout the year and you get your card stamped, you stamp the card. And when you come back next year, you get like a t-shirt or something. Well, I'm always on there, but you can't get your card stamped because I don't sell wine at a winery.
Right.
Yeah.
So name some places, some restaurants or stores that, if any listeners out there want to give it a try, where are you at?
Bogies.
Okay.
Over in
Okay.
Lowville. Melvin's the best. When people say they support local, like bars and restaurants say they support local, Melvin's one of the few that actually mean it and does go out of his way to support local products. Eagle Grill in Hubbard, Eagle Grill and Tavern, Bill Santangelo, great guy.
Is that the one by the golf course in Hubbard?
It's on right when you get into Hubbard, on Main Street, I believe. It's like right when you're there to the right. I don't think it's by a golf course. But he supports local products and has done more for me probably than almost anybody in the wine business goes. He's great. Justin Homer from Casual Pint, which is no longer open.
Yeah.
Justin was a huge supporter of my product, local product. He's at Poorhouse now in Poland. You can get my wine there.
Nice.
Oh, that's not far from me.
No, but a lot of places around here constantly talk about supporting local, and you'll find very few that actually do. Like support local is support me. That's kind of, I think, the mentality of a lot of places.
I'll make some phone calls. I got a couple of bars, restaurants, and if you want to get in some of these more it's on the tail end of the Mahoning County side, going into Columbiana. I'll pitch your name and see if they'll carry a couple bottles for you.
And I mean, I go around regularly to bars and restaurants and leave cards, leave information. I mean, I probably give out a couple 100 bottles a year, just stopping at places, talking to a bar manager. Here's 2-3 bottles of wine. Try it out. Let me know. What you think. My price is very comparable, probably better than most of the stuff they're selling anyway.
Are they good at getting back to you, like trying it and giving any feedback?
No, never.
So you just won't even hear from them?
Yeah, for the most part.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know Michael Alberini by chance?
I know who he is. Yeah.
All right. In the front of his store, he is a big wine connoisseur, and he stocks the front part with all the repped brands that are there, but he has some, local flavors in there as well. He'd be a good one to connect you into the bar restaurants that buy, because a lot of those sourcing come from the same spots. And if you can get into that channel, that would open up a bunch of stuff for you.
And I mean, I self-distribute, which is tough because you can't just go to Heidelberg or Tri-County and fill out an order form and get my product delivered to you. And a lot of it as far as businesses go, is my fault for not putting 100% in all the time and not having a sales team or like an actual salesperson to.
I was gonna say,
out there.
how big is your team, or is it
It's
just
me.
you
Just
right
me.
now? Okay.
I mean, my buddy Rob helps me out with a lot, like as far as bottling, and we get together. He helps me out with a lot of that. But as far as the business and the operation, it's just me.
Yeah, business is hard. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a full-time job, so this is kind of
Okay, like a side gig, like
It
after.
started out as a side gig, and it's just turned into what it is now. And hopefully it'll grow.
How long have you been doing this? I know you said 10 years sort of total, but like with Mr. November and trying to get it out there.
Legally, I've been selling wine for when I got my license and all the legal work done, almost 2 years.
Okay.
I think the first sale I ever had was to the VFW in Struthers, and that was
Nice.
like last August, maybe.
I'm part of the VFW in Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
Could ask them.
Nudge them,
Hey
give it a
guys.
shot.
Hey guys. Okay.
So I was reading a brewer that was complaining about some of the Ohio laws with THC. They were doing a lot of THC infused beers and crafters. There was a huge demand for it, and so
Yes.
they were putting this stuff together. And that bill that limited it hurt the brewers. Did it affect you at all? Like, do you think wine sales without that as an option? And second part, have you thought of the THC infusion?
Yeah, I did. I tried it. It didn't work out very well.
Okay.
I went, excuse me. I went to a place down in Struthers, and I think I might spend like $200 and bought like THC concentrate and stuff like that. And I don't know anything about that shit. I don't mess with it, whatever. But and I tried making wine and blending wine and infusing wine with it. And when I drank it, it did absolutely nothing for me. So if it did nothing for me, and I have no tolerance to that stuff, I can't imagine it would do anything for anybody. And I don't think there's a lot of money in THC and there's a lot of money in wine. I don't think there's a market for wine with THC in it. It would be too costly for something that either you want THC or you want wine, or just do your THC and drink wine while you're doing it, or whatever.
Yeah, it'd almost just be like a marketing gimmick, I feel like. Kind of like now they're putting protein in everything. Like Starbucks has protein coffee. And I think just the idea of that is marketing, selling it because everyone's like, ooh, protein, good. So I feel like people are going to hear THC infused alcohol and think, oh, extra buzz. And really it's like,
Well, I was at Penguin
Yeah.
City, right? And they had a cart that had beer that was infused with THC. And the line for the regular beer,
Oh,
right,
gosh.
was about 50% of what the THC beer was. Now, I drank one and just to see what it was like. And there was a
Yeah.
little bit of like mouth buzz, but I'm like you. I didn't know any different. It tastes like beer and that's it.
Yeah.
And so the extra money that I spent on it, I would have been way better just to buy the regular beer that I already knew that I liked.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just can't see the financial thing of, all right, if it costs X amount of money to make 6 gallons of wine and I put $100 worth of THC into it and it does nothing for me, what can you sell that for to recoup your money? Or you could buy a $10 bottle of wine that makes you feel this way, or a $20 bottle of wine that makes you feel the exact same way, but it says THC on the label.
Yeah.
But if it doubles sales, then a little trickery, a
I
little
should just start-
gimmickry,
just
go
get a
for it.
Sharpie,
Yeah.
Yeah,
put
exactly.
THC on all my wines.
Plus
You know,
THC,
yeah,
nobody
little
will ever
sticker.
know
Just
anyway.
marketing. Yeah.
Little sticker on every one of them.
What affects the alcohol content? Is it how long? Like some bottles of wine, it'll say, I don't know, like 8% alcohol by volume, and then I'll see some that's like 14. What's the difference there? Is it just how long it ferments, or like?
Yeah,
how
I mean,
do
it's
you-
just the alcohol percentage. Yeah. But you could have, like, for example, I have some of my like fruit wines typically would ferment at like 6-7%,
Mhm.
but I'll put like corn sugar in them so the yeast turns. I mean, yeast basically making alcohol is yeast turning sugar into alcohol.
Yeah.
So I would add sugar to up the percentage to 10.
Okay.
So here are 2 recommendations I'm going to give to you. So number 1, start writing on your bottle. Don't write THC because you probably get in trouble for that. But write TLC. People don't read anyway, and you can pull.
TLC.
I put TLC in every bottle, and
And
then
instead of
the dummies out there.
And instead of a hemp leaf, put like an aloe vera plant.
yes, totally work. You'll be able to pull that off.
TLC aloe. And they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get high."
Yeah, red light special. I could call the red light special.
100%.
Featuring TLC.
Absolutely. no.
Yeah.
Second is
Bottles
you
and
really
Prego
got to
Chase
do.
waterfalls.
You got to really do
I
the
love
Mr.
it.
November calendar. I think that's going to be a big selling marketing tool.
12 months. Every one of them just November.
Just November.
Yeah,
Your
that's it.
November calendar.
Yep.
Have you maybe in a fireman's suit with some suspenders, bare chest? Like,
Yeah.
you want to pull that off?
Market at
just do the month. Just one sheet.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
need a
could
calendar,
even
just one
mark
piece of
it-
paper that says November.
Market
Here, I got
the
one for 26,
TH
27, 28 already ready.
Take
Just
the
one piece of
THC
paper.
wine and sell it at
TLC.
November Rain, and then everybody thinks, "Ooh,
Mr. November.
see a light show while you're buzzed from
Oh, I
Mr.
like
November
it.
at November Rain."
Little cart, put it out in the middle
Just
of November
hire
rain.
us. Just
Look at
hire
that.
us.
I'm
Yeah.
always looking to expand. So, you know,
We'll work for
use a
wine.
sales team.
All right. So what else is happening in the world that we should talk about? We had national politics. Anything happening local? Either of you know of anything you want to talk about? I usually give you first
Local.
strike at it, and I took the Save Act and started off with it. So anything in pop culture? Because the box office that movie, the Hail Mary movie, did
Yeah.
off the charts.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was #1 at the theaters over the weekend, that movie. I think I read that this was like his best grossing film that Ryan Gosling was ever a lead in or something like that. And
Well, this is the best box office return in compared all of the franchises. Like you could take all the box offices from the very beginning of the year, add them up, and this did better. So they
Wow.
Hollywood hit on something with this movie. There was no wokeism, there was no political messaging. It was just a real fictional movie. And I loved it.
And honestly, in my opinion, again, goes back to just good marketing. Ryan Gosling has been having this moment, like just growing in his fame through Saturday Night Live. I think it started with Barbie and how everybody thought he was hilarious in Barbie. And then he did all these skits about it. Then he's been on SNL multiple times, couple of good movies, but he's just been so in the public eye as this kind of funny, great guy. So I think his movie was going to do good just
Listen,
because he was in it.
You are a skewed fangirl. The movie with any other actor would have been done just the same. It had nothing. I mean, he did a good job, but it was more about the movie, not about your crush.
I disagree.
I'm telling
disagree.
you put somebody else in
Do
there.
you think
Ryan
anybody?
Reynolds, be the same thing.
100%.
Ryan Reynolds.
See, another fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he's basically the same guy. But,
Yeah,
so,
right.
But that's the whole
Carbon
point.
copy,
It's
exactly.
a good marketed actor. I think you took a no name and you put him in that movie. I don't think it would have done as well.
Maybe not a no name, but it wasn't because it was Gosling. It could have been any
I think
You
it
know,
was.
any quirky,
I think it
typical-
was because it was Gosling.
No,
Now the movie
disagree.
itself could stand on its own and can do well, but getting butts in the seats and getting people to go see it and know that it's good, that was Gosling. I'm
No,
telling you.
no way.
I think so.
No.
Put in James Woods.
Yeah, James Wood could have pulled that off.
I mean,
A lot of what was the Armageddon guy? Bruce Willis. Yeah, he could have pulled
poor
that.
Bruce Willis.
I know. That's a shame watching that go down.
He
and
just had a
happen.
birthday, I think.
Yeah, but I wanted to point that out because we had such a decade of god awful movies that were terrible to watch, pummeled you in the face with politics, and you just got one pure that comes along and does really well. So I hope that primes the Hollywood machine to produce more of that going
just like
forward.
feel good.
Yes.
Less heavy.
And it was PG-13. Why the hell was it PG-13? What in that?
I didn't
Like that
see
could,
it.
I think that could have very easily been a PG.
Was there swearing?
I can't think of anything. Nothing stood out.
Any like sexual innuendos?
No, nothing like that.
any
Violence?
THC? No.
Did-
No
Did they get
THC in
high in
that
the
movie. No.
All right.
Did they get drunk?
Yes, he got drunk. There was
Oh,
alcohol in it.
Alcohol.
Yeah,
There
he
you
found
go.
a couple bags of vodka, and he wasn't like it wasn't overt,
But it was
Knew it would
making
be-
light of drinking.
but he drank a drink. So okay, there you go. There's your
PG-13.
reason for PG-13.
Yeah.
Now you think that does justice to a movie where if it's PG-13, then you get the kid audience and you get the adult audience, and if it was PG, some of the adults will be like, this is just a kids movie. I'm not going to see
Probably.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was a safe rating kind of thing.
Yeah, safe bet. How do you feel when they have kids' movies that have obvious adult humor? Like, Do you appreciate that when they're like, I know a grown up has to sit through this, so we better throw him a bone and give him something
if
to
it's
chuckle
subtle
at?
as hell, yes. If you got some splaining to do, right, and it was too obvious, then yeah, I don't think that's right. But even in cartoons, they do that all the time. Like even the animated movies, they'll throw one in for the parents, and I'll be like, I appreciate that. I know you have no idea what they just said.
Are you guys into Moana? Do you have kids?
Nope. I have a 6-year-old. Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen Moana?
No.
So Moana is probably one of my favorite Disney movies. I like it. I love the music. They just released the trailer now for the live action Moana. Have you seen that trailer? I don't know how I feel about this.
Why?
So The Rock is in it, which I'm like, okay, obviously. No, he plays Maui.
That's probably.
I knew this is where this is
but
going
that would have
anyway.
made it more interesting. So, and in the original Moana, The Rock voices Maui, the demigod. So in the live action, he's playing Maui as a person. Except he's aged. He's older now, and his face doesn't match the body. Like they gave him this demigod, strong, young, tatted up body, and then you see this slender, older Dwayne Johnson face. And I just don't think it flows. I don't think it looks right. According to the trailer, I'm not loving the acting ability of the girl playing Moana. Maybe it's better in the movie. I don't know. A trailer is a snippet.
That would have been a good addition.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have high hopes for this, which is such a shame because I love the original. Do you get mad when like they'll redo a movie that was great and then the second one's just not great? Yeah.
It all depends on how well they play the part. Like I know you're judging men because you don't think when they age that they're as attractive.
What is his
and
problem
they just go
today?
out of value.
Literally never said that.
And
literally never said
judge
that.
harshly because he can't keep up with your standards.
I've always said it's not fair how men get to age and get handsome and
Rock
women
is an example
age and
of
get
where
haggard.
he's like out of sorts with you, and he's no longer that attraction mechanism that he once was. So it's okay. Like we all
I don't
age.
know what your
We
deal
all-
is
we all-
today.
we
I
all
don't know
get
what kind
older.
of THC wine you're on this morning. But that is completely false.
So yeah, it depends on how well they carry the part. I don't look at their age or how they can. Now, if let's just say you had Rambo, they redid Rambo, and they put in some slender, skinny dude to try to pull off Rambo. Yeah, I the connections in my brain wouldn't match up. But as long as they did it so that I'm like, I know who Maui is supposed to be, and he's playing it well enough that it's believable.
I think you still got to look at what she does for the most part. It's just not seamless for me.
If Timothée Chalamet redid Rambo, I'm not watching it.
That would be funny.
He's probably a good actor, whatever, but yeah, I don't need
unless he did an amazing job
playing Rambo. No,
I mean, look at Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron is gorgeous, but was in Monster. Like, maybe you could pull it off if they're an amazing actor. I don't see that happening.
I would appreciate that more, but it's good that Hollywood. I would expect like in Snow White that they take a character and they want to be all political, so they change so many attributes about the character for political reasons. That's annoying as shit to me. At least they're paying homage to the story, and they're not getting hung up that they want a Black, Asian, transgender, lesbian, right, to play the part for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So as long as that era's gone, I'm cool with any inconsistencies with character flow between novel or animated and real. So that's just my perspective.
There's probably one movie I can say where the sequel was even better than the first one, and that's Kill Bill. You guys think so?
That's the same movie though. Just two parts.
It's not wrong.
Yeah, it's
technically the sequel because it came out at a different time.
But it's a continuation of.
Yeah.
And I liked the first one, and I liked the next one even more. And that's so rare.
Like, the Green Mile after an hour and a half, and then watch it a month later, I'd be like, dude, Green Mile 2 is way better than Green Mile 1.
Same movie. Now, did they stretch the acts out over the two, or were there 3 act segments on both movies? I can't remember. Like, there's very long time since I watched it. Do you think they separated it?
There's like 2 or 3 acts in each Kill Bill, I believe.
Okay,
but
right. So they went
completely separate movies, but it's still the same. I guess the same.
Yeah,
same movie.
That's an interesting one because they broke a lot of the molds by playing that out the way that they did. So that's an anomaly in itself.
Yeah, that was so good. That was so good. Elle the girl with the eye patch in Kill Bill. I was her for Halloween one year.
Were you?
Yep.
Mhm.
Such a good movie.
And my fear with Hail Mary,
Pai Mei is my hero. Yep.
my fear with Hail Mary is that they're going to put a sequel. And what the hell would you do with that movie with a sequel? Like, you saw it, right?
I did not see
Not
it.
see it yet?
No, I pay
Yeah.
attention to movies. I watch a lot of them. I'm not familiar much with Hail Mary at all. Like, I think I just heard about it like a week ago.
It just came out.
Came out last week.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, when you exit a movie that was really good, but really they already answered all the questions, you don't have any more curiosities about it, then you're like, when you do a sequel, it feels forced because they're continuing a story that was already finished.
Yeah.
bookended.
Yeah.
With this one, I have a lot of questions, and I want filled in on more of the storyline that they couldn't fit in a 2-hour freaking movie.
Was it based on a book? Isn't there a book?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I
did
actually
they have a
totally
sequel to the
could.
book? Is there another book? Or is it just
Well, I
Don't know.
just
Don't
read
know.
last night, actually, the author is working on another book, but he said it's not a sequel. It's a totally different story. And I guess they said, well, would you do a sequel? Would you tie up some loose ends? And he's just like, I don't know. He says it would have to be really good.
and profitable?
And yeah, he just doesn't know yet if he could
Now,
think of something really good.
Do you guys like movies that you almost have to see the first one for the second one to make sense? Or do you like the ones that are kind of standalone where if you watch the second one, you don't even really care about the first one?
Trying to think what movie would fit into that category.
Depends on how good it is. Yeah, because you almost have to have and how long it came out after the first one. Because, like, if I got to watch the movie and then in order to see the second, I've got to go rewatch the first because I don't remember what happened. Like, I feel like the second has to have at least a recap of some sort.
Like, if
but-
you're watching Star Wars, you probably want to know what happened in
Yeah.
the first ones rather than
Right.
just jump into like Return of the Jedi. Like,
Right.
"Hey, what happened before this?
Yeah.
But like the Saw movies, like I couldn't
Dun, dun, dun.
I couldn't make
Dun,
it
dun,
make
dun, dun,
sense
dun,
without
dun, dun,
seeing the ones right in a series.
Yeah.
It's profound if you know the whole storyline. And it took like 15 years for all of them to come out. And when a new one comes out, I go rewatch all of them up to that point. But that's like a month investment.
So you're not
from-
going to watch like Fast and Furious 13 without watching the
Right,
first 12.
exactly.
See, now those are movies where you
Yeah.
could probably just hop in it and watch any one of them, and you don't need, maybe a little bit of backstory helps, but you probably don't need to watch all 12 of them or 13 of them to get.
Yeah,
to the
like,
point
could
where-
you watch Kill Bill Volume 2 without ever seeing Kill Bill Volume 1?
It would annoy me that I'm on volume 2 and I didn't read 1. I wouldn't be able to. I would have
It
held
would-
myself
it would be-
accountable.
It would be different.
Yeah.
It would be different. You may not be totally lost, but it wouldn't be as
It would still be
effective, I
good,
don't
but you
think.
wouldn't get the whole gist of the movie.
Yeah,
because
you
it
would.
is the same movie.
You wouldn't be as like into it or invested in it.
Well, I even see series on Netflix and some of the streaming services where, like, Black Mirror is a good example, where it's a series, but every story is told in totality with everyone. It starts over again, so you can
Mm.
jump in and watch one episode. You don't need to know anything that came before that. I think viewers like that because when you're binge watching, you have to watch them in series and you have to make it to the freaking end.
Yeah.
Well, an example would be, which I didn't know much about it, but I hear the show Peaky Blinders is
Okay.
great.
Oh, I've heard good things too.
I've never watched it, but they just came out with a movie. I believe it's called The Immortal Man. And my friend told me it's incredible, but you should probably watch Peaky Blinders before you watch the movie. I don't want to watch a 7 series,
Yeah.
7 series
Right.
worth of TV
It's
to watch a
feel
movie.
like a
So if
pyramid
I watch
scheme.
that movie, do I need to know what happened
Yeah.
in those
Have
however many 100
this.
episodes?
But buy all of these first, and then you can get to this.
Oh, that is the business model. That is
Yeah.
the absolute business model.
Yeah, especially now with streaming services like, I mean, The Chosen did the same thing. The Chosen is a show, but the finale are like movies. And so it's like, well, you got to pay for the streaming service. Then you got to get a movie ticket and go to the theater. I see what's happening here. As
Epiphany.
like cable is going by the wayside and everybody's streaming. They're like, well, what are we going to do? Ooh, let's make them spend more money and follow these steps if they want to keep seeing what's going on.
Have you noticed that movies have been getting longer? It's not the 90-minute
Hey,
movie
kinda,
anymore. They're
yeah.
over 2 hours for some of these things. And as our attention spans shrink, how the hell are they pulling that off? Like,
Yeah.
even podcasts, Joe Rogan goes 3 hours sometimes. And the conventional wisdom is you got to get in and out in 10 minutes or everybody will tune you out.
Well, what's funny is I've heard it's either very short or long. The in between doesn't work. which is so weird. Because I've now been my brain is so warped by the stupid reels and short form video. My brother sends me a lot of reels and stuff on Instagram, and I'll start watching it. And if I see that it's like a minute, I don't got time for that. This is too long.
Mhm.
Like it's got to be quick or very interesting, or I'm just like, and I'm done. I don't got all day to watch this.
Yeah.
Like, what does that say about us or what we're being conditioned for?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, Wicked sort of had some controversy there.
Being the shittiest movie that's ever produced. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
But I remember thinking
Is
like,
it a bad movie? I've heard it's like
terrible.
great, but I
I
never
think-
watched
It's
it.
terrible.
I don't know why
They just came out
everybody
with another
said it
one,
was
right?
great.
Is there a
Yeah.
second one or
I've heard the second one is better. I gave the first one a chance and I just didn't see the appeal. I don't know what everybody thinks was so great about it. And I gave it an honest try, but I watched it at home because like you said, I'm like 2 hours and something. You know how many times like I'll have to pee during this movie and I got to leave the theater and I will then miss something. So I might as well watch it
don't
at
know why it
home.
wasn't appealing to you.
I mean, I know we talked about it from a political aspect. I tried to quell that and just enjoy it for the movie it is. And I still didn't think it was that good.
So part of the allure of the original was that you had a well-defined hero and you had a well-defined villain, right?
You're talking about original as in the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Not the
Right.
Wicked. Okay.
And so when you make that connection where you believe in the hero and the villain is the one that you're supposed to hate, and everybody can universally agree on that, and then they're like, I'm going to turn this upside down, right? And I'm going to soften the villain. Now, who's the villain? I mean, is it just the wizard is the villain now, and that's the only villain?
Well, how is that different from going back? Like, you could say Two-Face is a villain in Batman, but
Mhm.
Harvey Dent was a good guy and became bad. So if you tell the story of Harvey Dent, aren't you doing the same thing?
Absolutely, yeah. That's it, but now if they are like, let's just say they did Godfather, right? We know who we Sopranos. We love the villain for the reasons that we do, but they don't like take him out of villainry, right, and make him
Yeah.
into sort of a hero on it. Then let him be a
You
villain
root
because
for
we need
the bad guy.
Yes, and it's fine to root for the bad guy, but it's to make the bad guy into something like what Godfather 9. Here's him planting a raised garden, like softening and making him he needs to do bloodshed and he needs to, go after his enemies. That's what we love about that character. Even if we like him for some attributes, that's important. But I don't know, it just ruined it for me.
Oh, we've had a bunch of comments. Shrek has a ton of sexual innuendos.
It does.
I always like Godfather 2 more than 1, but yes, part 2s usually aren't as good. And I feel the best sequels are completely new stories. The best example I could think of would be The Shining and Doctor Sleep. I don't even think I know The Shining had a sequel. The
does.
Shining has a sequel?
Does?
Or is Shining and Doctor Sleep the same? I don't know what Doctor Sleep is.
Jimmy Single is better than Jimmy Deuce, by the way.
I don't know either of them.
Jimmy Deuce. What?
Kevin Horvath, shout out car culture.
That was a callback. Missed it.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm lost. Who did you think about The Shining? Have you guys seen The Shining?
Love The Shining.
I've been, for some reason, getting served a lot of content on The Shining and how Stephen King, who wrote the book, hated the movie. Thought they were way off base with the movie. He said it was like cold or dark or something, and it wasn't supposed to be that, or I don't even know.
Yeah, go read Stephen King's Twitter feed for a little while, and then your opinion of him. He's a guy that wrote some really good works, right? And in doing so, he destroyed his actual brain. Okay, so now we have a version of Stephen King that's just a captured, miserable. I wish he would do more cocaine and become more of an alcoholic, because that version of him was actually good, imaginative, and skilled.
I mean, how many people do we know kind of lose their mind with their art? It's funny. I was watching Big Bang Theory last night, and they referenced Tesla.
Did they?
And how he went crazy and fell in love with a pigeon and all this. And I mean, people say Heath Ledger sort of went over the edge when he was playing Joker. So is there like a good level of madness that you kind of seep into while you're creating?
You have to flirt with it. And, as age takes over, you give into it eventually and you lose your grasp on reality.
Well, you're probably not going to get to that level of creativity in music, or especially music, without being kind of off to begin with. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
100%.
there's a reason why these guys kill themselves or drugs and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah. Tapping
so-
into stuff that
But
they can't let go.
The
or-
Shining was amazing. Like Stephen King doesn't matter, even though he wrote the thing.
see, now The Shining, I never saw the movie until my first thing of The Shining was the miniseries on TV. I don't know if you ever watched that. or not.
Oh, I heard of it, but I never did see it.
I watched that, and that's all I knew of The Shining when I was younger, and it was terrifying and scary. And then I didn't realize until later, like, oh, this is actually a movie that came out 30 years before the TV show.
Yeah.
But the TV show was great.
I might have to go back and
I've never
find that.
watched it.
I
It was
It was
never
just
saw
like
the
two.
TV
It was
show.
like two parts. I don't know, maybe 2 hours one night, 2 hours the other night. So
Oh, like a mini series, kind of.
like Kill Bill, same movie. but
Oh,
just in different
okay.
parts.
Now, there was a preview when I watched Hail Mary this last weekend for the back rooms. I cannot wait to
The
see
back rooms?
Back rooms, yeah.
What is that?
You know anything about back room?
No.
Okay, I am not going to spoil any of it for you. This is definitely a Gen Z and younger thing, and it is.
You're so hip.
Oh, I know. Like, I'm trying not to be cringe. This is my anti-cringe movement, so I
Yeah.
say things that my kid doesn't go. Ah.
Yeah.
6,
6,
7. But anyway,
She
back
does that
room.
a lot.
Yeah.
And it's, what are you gonna do?
But Backrooms is something I'm not going to even give you any premise. It's going to be a horror. It's going to be is something that pushes on your brain a little bit. It's a little confusing, a little
Backrooms.
stupid if you judge it by what's out there storytelling wise. But it is profound. So check the previews out, and you will get nothing from the preview. Nothing.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
you'll be
you
more-
watch it and
you
you're
will
still
be
like,
more
what is this
confused.
about?
More confused. Like the trailer. Let me describe the trailer.
Yeah.
So the Backrooms is sort of like an ever-changing, non-ending, like think of an office building, corporate office building that has like an infinite amount of floors and an infinite amount of rooms. And as you leave one room and enter a new room, it's all rendering and changing as you walk around. So it's basically a labyrinth maze. Instead of it being defined, it's a ever-evolving labyrinth. And all the preview was a camera that was fixed on an empty room with terrible, 70s wallpaper, and it was going downward, and the rooms, like a chair, was sinking into the ground to every floor, and the doorways were changing and the elevation was changing. But that's all the preview was showing this infinite amount of floors as it went down.
Sounds like a dream.
Psychedelic experience. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like someone was super high.
Interesting.
I'll have to check it out.
Do you like, I feel like I like movies that make you think and keep you guessing, but they do have to eventually make sense. I don't like it if I get to the end and it really just made no sense.
Lost, the television show, the worst television show ever
Oh, you see, I
created.
never watched that. Everybody was
worst.
into Lost.
See, I disagree.
Let's have it out. Finally, we disagree. Let's do this.
Well, Lost, when I got into Lost, was season 3 was on. Like season 3 was airing, and guy at work was like, dude, you gotta watch Lost. I'm like, I don't want to watch that shit. And it just didn't seem like. Well, then season 3 finished, and he let me borrow season 1, 2, and 3 on DVD. And I'm like, my buddy Tim was staying with me at the time, so it was like a Sunday afternoon. I think football season was over. What do you want to do? Dude, let's watch this stupid show Matt told us about. We didn't leave the house for like 3 days. Just 14 hours of Lost, like every day. We'd come home from work, just watch Lost. And then when season 4 started, that's when I started watching it in real time. And that's probably when it got really bad, because season 5 and 6 were bad.
Yeah, well, they hooked me,
Oh.
and then
you get hooked.
You could tell that producer, writer, something changed, and they just started digging into mysterious things and never answered questions that us were like, I want to know what it is. This plays into the plot, I'm sure. And then they just let it go and never explain it whatsoever.
Now, could that be hey, this show's really super popular, super successful. I know you had it wrapped up at this point, but if we could get 2 more seasons out of it, is that an option? Or, you know what I mean?
Stretched it, yeah.
You're right. It just, and then at the end when
Don't spoil it. Don't tell them. If you haven't watched Lost,
All
okay,
right.
spoiler warning. Okay, go ahead.
but
I've
no, but
heard
I mean, like,
about the
you just
ending.
that are like, that's it. Like,
Disappointment. Total disappointment.
because you have these characters you fall in love with off and on through the first 4 seasons, and then season 6, it's was it like Mr. White or Mr. Black or Gray or whatever they are? Like, who the hell are these guys? Like, they weren't a part of this they weren't a part of the island. They weren't a part of anything for 5 years, and now they're the 2 whatever, you know. I didn't like the way it ended.
Yeah.
But the first 4 seasons, hooked. They're just amazing television.
Well, some people even, they didn't like the end of The Sopranos. Did you like the end?
I love the end.
I
of
never
The
watched The
Sopranos.
Sopranos.
I love the end of The
I
Sopranos.
never watched it. I didn't follow it when it was on, but I knew of it enough that I saw the very last episode when it aired, and I thought something happened to the TV. I went running to another room to turn it on, and someone's like, "No,
was the
it's
end.
not the TV."
The song was playing, the ding of the
Yeah,
bell.
I was like, "What?" No,
So, all right.
I'm now going back and watching The Sopranos.
The end. Tell me, because you don't know, who came through the door, what happened?
I don't
In
remember.
your brain, did Tony get offed?
That's what it implied to me. Again, I don't remember. I'm currently watching now, so I'll know, like, maybe now that I'm watching every episode consecutively.
We'll
and see.
resume that conversation after you've come up again.
Yeah.
I want you to,
I think
everything
I'm almost
leading up
done.
to that moment where there was strife in the family. There were people after Tony. He's sitting in with his family. They're having a discussion about the future, right?
Yeah.
The door opens, and I think Tony gets taken out. But
That's what I thought they were implying, but nobody really
there's
knew.
1,000 different, like, leave it up to you.
Well,
Choose your own ending.
interpretations. And if
Yeah.
I watch a show and if I invest 6 years in something, personally, I don't want it to be left up to interpretation.
If
Kinda wanna be like-
10 years
Yeah.
later, if we're still talking about it, they did their job.
Do you know,
Very true.
I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, because you know we've watched Boondock Saints like hundreds of times. I just this week, like days ago, realized that the beginning of Boondock Saints is the end, and the whole movie is a flashback. I never noticed that.
Seriously?
I never noticed that when they're like, "Oh, I do believe Monsignor finally got the point." I was like,
Like, oh, okay, conversation I didn't know
no, my
about.
husband's like, "Oh yeah, my friend and I always say that, you know, he finally gets it. They're the Saints now. They're doing what they're doing." And then they flash back at how they got there. And I'm like, oh my God. And I Googled it and I was like,
Missed it.
I was today years old. I did not realize the whole movie was a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I gotta rewatch
embarrassing.
that one. It's been a while.
Yeah. I watch it every St. Patrick's Day. Boondock Saints. It's so good. And I've never seen the sequel. That one has a sequel. And I've never watched it because I'm like, I love the first one so much. And if the second one is terrible, I'm just going to be annoyed.
If I remember, the second one's good.
Is it?
It's been a while, but I don't think it's not as good per se, but it's good.
Maybe
Another
maybe I'll
thing I
give it a
hate
try.
about series and series especially is when they have protected characters that they're fearful of offing, like The Walking Dead, for instance, right? It's a violent movie where everybody dies. Your percentage of dying in that day is like 90%. But yet these core characters always escape because the fans love them so much. They would disregard the show if their favorite character. So then it's like not an authentic representation of the zombie apocalypse if you know that they can't kill off him.
Yeah. Like my daughter got real into Hunger Games for a while, and I realized Katniss is only alive because she gets incredibly lucky. Like there's a lot of movies and stuff where the hero is not so much just really savvy and strong and brave or whatever. They just get lucky. Someone's about to kill him and somebody else takes him out.
Yep.
It's like another funny thing Big Bang Theory pointed out in one of their episodes is in Indiana Jones, and is it The Last Crusade or Raiders of the Lost Ark maybe? Indiana Jones is completely pointless in the movie. Had Indiana Jones not done anything, stayed home that day, wouldn't have affected the movie whatsoever. The Germans still would have got the Ark. They still would have opened it, and they would have all died. And Indiana Jones played no part in that. And I was like, oh my God, they're right.
Yeah, but Raiders of the Lost Ark was out before Indiana Jones.
I think
And it
I
was
think
kinda
it's
like
the
Indiana Jones was the character, I think, from Raiders of the Lost Ark that started because I think the next one was Temple
Yeah.
of Doom.
Is it The Last Crusade where they have the Ark and they open it and all the German guys like melt and die?
That's
Or is
Raiders
that Raiders
of the
of
Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's
Yeah.
the one they were talking about. That Indiana Jones was pointless in that movie. He did not need to be in it. He didn't affect the storyline in any way, shape, or form. And I'm like, oh my God, they were right. If you think about it.
I mean, there are so many people that love that movie, and you're talking.
It's
shit
up there
about
on
it.
the lists of like when you talk like IMDb list of 100 greatest movies of all time or whatever.
It's up
It's like in the top 10 on a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what. I mean, I've watched it years. I don't remember much about it. But
It's still good, but it's true. Take his character away, and everybody else in that movie did their thing.
Yeah. Now, can you guys watch the old ones like Gone with the Wind, Les Mis, any of those musicals, or
no desire to.
no?
No.
I've not seen them, so I guess I don't. And I don't have
Like,
anything
seen none
against
of them?
musicals. I've seen bits and pieces of Gone with the Wind. I've never watched it the whole way through, and I've never seen Les Mis.
Okay.
I know, is that a shame?
Uncultured.
I
swine.
know, but I've watched Moulin Rouge about 1,000 times.
Yeah, they had to flavor it up with the music and compositions. Like, now, do you think those older ones, Gone with the Wind and Les Mis, do you think they are iconic, and do you think they carry or acknowledge for the weight they carry? Even if you won't watch it or don't like it, do you think it still represents the best production?
At the time.
For the
probably.
time, yeah. I can see for the time. Like, isn't again, I've never seen the whole thing, but doesn't Gone with the Wind like sort of talk a lot about history of that time period and things like that? So I've heard good things. I know I should watch it. I've never really seen it. I know like lines from it, the famous like
Oh, for
lines
sure.
that people quote, but same with what's it called? Sound of Music. I've only seen bits and pieces of the Sound of Music. I've
Mhm.
never seen the whole thing because those are quite long, aren't they?
Yeah. Every
Yeah.
year I watch one of those and see if I have a renewed appreciation for it. And I never do. I mean, I know that I've seen them. I probably, unless forced, I wouldn't watch them again because now I kind of
Yeah.
know them, and I don't get anything. They're very emotional in all of them. And they packed it full of that. That's just not, I'm just
Do
not,
you get emotional when
do
you
not
watch
get
it?
emotional.
What movie or show or book has ever made you emotional?
Greatest Showman.
Really?
Oh, I get fired up. I get ready to
I
conquer
could
the
see
world.
that because he's like an entrepreneur spirit, and
Yes.
I'm gonna just put my all in. And
Is
Yes.
that Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
I never saw it.
oh, it's
You
got
have to.
really good songs, really good soundtrack.
And another one is Astronaut Farmer. That is like one of my top
What is
favorite
that?
movies. Billy Bob Thornton. It's a guy on his farmhouse builds a rocket, and he's gonna fly his own rocket. And NASA and the FAA try to shut him down, and he just has this dream to build and fly his own rocket. It's the best movie.
Elon
And-
Musk's backstory, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, I
Started on
see
a
it
farm.
now. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're into that, like anybody that has that sort of big dream or goal, and they
100%.
work towards it, and they.
100%.
Like American Gangster.
I don't think did. I see that.
You probably have it. What was it? 90s or late 90s?
Is that the one with
I think so.
Jennifer Lawrence?
No, it's one where he starts selling heroin. He gets this big dream and he becomes a heroin dealer.
I'm thinking of the wrong movie.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of-
I watched American Gangster.
Is it a
He
lot
had a plan.
like?
He had a dream. You know,
Now
just to
I'm picturing the
get
movie
everybody addicted to
Blow.
blue
I
magic.
think. Yeah,
Yep.
because
Frank Lucas.
Blow isn't Blow about heroin? Not
No,
heroin.
that was about
That was
marijuana, or
about
drugs in general. George
cocaine
Young
and stuff, I
Marijuana,
thought.
I think.
What about Scarface?
As an emotional flick?
No. Just as like everybody knows, like Scarface is this classic film.
I mean, it was all right.
Scarface was good. I think Carlito's Way was better than Scarface. And they both get the same. I think Brian De Palma did both. Maybe I could be wrong about that, where he wrote the books, something like that. But Al Pacino played both characters, and Carlito's Way, I think, is way better than Scarface. And most people don't even know about Carlito's Way.
Yeah, I
Just
don't think
Scarface,
I've
Scarface,
heard of
Scarface.
it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
And I really like mafia type movies or crime movies. Like
Oh, American History X. Yeah.
that was rough to watch. That's
a good one.
rough one.
Yeah.
Donnie Brasco, that was
Donnie
good.
Brasco was great.
Brasco. I don't think
The Saint, not necessarily about criminals, but that was a well done movie.
Oh,
that was Val
is that
Kilmer.
Val Kilmer?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that. There's like Heat too that I've never seen.
He is
Oh,
great.
Heat's
He is
good.
great.
Yeah,
He is
I
great.
hear such good things, and I don't remember ever actually sitting and
So
watching
many
it.
one-liners.
Heat is amazing. For a heist movie, robbery type movie, Heat's up there with probably The Town.
Yeah.
Maybe as the two best ones, I would think.
Have you guys ever seen American Psycho?
Mhm.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Is he? I feel like that movie plays a lot on how crazy is he actually what actually happened, what was in his head. Did he actually kill people in that movie, or was that in his head? I got to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I got
It
to
was
rewatch
Christian
it.
Bale.
Yeah.
Jared Leto was in that, I believe. I don't remember. I think I saw it once years ago, but
I've got to return some videotapes.
So if let's just say your kid's a little young for this yet.
yeah, six.
Yours is kind of in that deal. You have to expose them and go back and take some really good movies from pre-era.
Oh, we have
Now,
been.
give me some examples of what you feel they have to see and know.
We showed them The Never-Ending Story.
Okay, that's a must. And that applies over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Labyrinth.
Okay.
Signs. Not so old, but I think Signs. They really enjoyed Signs.
Did you crush on the what's the princess's name in Never?
The princess. Oh, The Never-Ending Story. Her name. Is that the one that they yell at the end? Call my name. It's like Moonchild or something.
like that.
Yeah.
Did you crush on her when?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if I ever saw that movie, honestly.
Oh,
The Never-Ending Story.
There's like,
Listen.
and I'm a kid, like
Homework.
80s movie
Homework.
kid, but there's a couple of like movies that I'm like, yep, I missed that one.
No,
The
Missed that one.
Never-Ending
This is
Story.
probably busy watching
By
the
Monday,
100th time,
you and
know?
your kid rent that sucker. It is
Yeah.
a cornerstone. Your life is not complete.
Dun, dun,
And don't judge it by today's
Yeah,
standards of
definitely.
CGI or whatever, but you have to see it. You don't have to do the Labyrinth because that was a little cranky.
Labyrinth.
Did you ever see Pan's Labyrinth?
No,
Labyrinth is
I've heard of it.
It's good.
Isn't that a horror film? Or no,
It's-
or that's a crazy.
It's kind of weird. I wouldn't call it a horror film. It's weird, but there's some, I guess, scary aspects to it,
Yeah.
and like weird creatures and stuff. But
Like, you know what I've heard a lot about and I've never seen is Clockwork Orange. Is that a scary film, or
never
is
seen
it
it.
just
I never
creepy?
seen either. But that's usually on the top 2 or 3 list. You know, it's an
Yeah.
all-time classic. that-
Anytime somebody makes a list of like just twisted movies, Clockwork Orange, I feel like are always on there, and I've never actually seen it.
I got some trauma from the movie Seven, right?
Yes!
I always think of that movie.
Have you seen Seven?
Yeah.
Good.
What's in the box?
What's in the
Box.
box? What's in the box?
That was a twisted.
Oh,
that
it was so good.
So good.
That's a good movie.
Have you guys seen online now? There was an AI trend. It's rewriting movies from my childhood to solve my adult trauma. And it takes something like The Lion King, for example. And when Scar drops Mufasa off the ledge and he dies, really he doesn't do that. He just helps him up and they go on their merry way. And he never
Suburban
dies.
white women are the strangest beasts on the planet.
And there's one where Brad Pitt's like, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" Oh, it's just a special delivery and it's like a puppy or something. And I was like, yes. Rewatch it all with happy endings.
ruining culture.
Like Moulin Rouge. So I've seen Moulin Rouge 100 times. I know how it ends. But if it's on TV and I don't feel like bawling my eyes out and I just want to be in a good mood, I will stop it during the happy ending before the sad stuff starts. And I'd be like, "Oh, good. And they lived happily ever after." And I choose to believe that.
We have a rule in our house where Titanic used to come on 2 cassette tapes and we were allowed to watch one. We
Yeah.
were never allowed to load the second one in.
Because it was too sad.
Sad. Rose is an asshole and killed Jack. Totally killed him.
Poor Jack.
Jack.
Sevens. What's in the box? God. That was such a good one. Primal Fear. Primal Fear is so good. Have you seen Primal Fear?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Richard Gere and Ed Norton.
Ed Norton.
he's the
Yes.
Yeah. That's
I love movies where there's a really good twist that I did not see coming, but is still good. Like, if there's a twist I did not see coming, but you got to go all over to explain how that was even possible and it is a stretch, I'm like, no, that doesn't count. It's got to make sense.
My son and I were watching a series and we literally had to graph on a piece of paper as the show was happening so we could keep the storyline straight because it was a time travel deal. And so that these people were going back into different sections of time, 30 years back, 60 years back, 90 years back, 30 years in the future, 60 years. And every time that they'd have a scene, you would have to contextually be able to figure out what era they were in. And the character you were looking at was the younger version of a connected character that traveled back in time. It was so effing complicated.
Is that a movie or a series?
It's a series. I think it was called Dark, and it's actually a subtitled. It's what language was it in?
Oh man, and it's foreign.
And it's foreign, so you had to read the words and diagram. It was almost like an escape room because you had so much to do to follow the storyline. It was so incumbent on you. It was fun because he and I got to do it together. But normal readers it was in German, by the way. It was in German. I think it was called Dark.
Yeah, see, I love the Knives Out movies. Did you ever see Knives Out and Glass Onion?
Real good.
First one I loved. Second one pretty good too. Third one was one of those. You're still waiting the whole movie because you know there will be a plot twist. There will be a way that this all makes sense. And then at the end, when they get there, and I won't give anything away, but when they explain what happened, you're like, that's quite a stretch. That was quite a stretch. There's no way anybody would have remotely even guessed that. That's kind of unrealistic. Like, yeah, like make it a plot twist, but make it like you got to be able to look back and go, oh, like even like how do you feel? Spoiler alert if you haven't seen a movie that's like 30 years old. What's the Bruce Willis? I See Dead People. Sixth Sense. That's one where at the end you kind of go, oh yeah, like you play it all back and you realize that does pan out. But then I think about it and I'm like, does it though? Have you seen The Sixth Sense? Like, do you guys remember that? So you know the scene where Bruce Willis is sitting in the living room with the kid's mom and he comes home and he talks to him while the mom goes and you're like, oh, well, they never really address each other. I guess that's legit that you would assume they were talking, but they weren't. And I'm like, wait a minute. How long did Bruce Willis sit here with the mother before the kid came home and the mother never looked or said a word to him? Like, wasn't he ever like, yeah, I'm trying to work with your mom and question your mom, but she won't talk to me. Like, I don't know. I think I overthink things.
Mm-hmm. I think The Others was like that too.
The Others with Nicole Kidman?
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's one where they didn't know they were dead.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Who keeps opening the curtains or taking the curtains? Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Like Drop Dead Fred, basically.
Drop Dead Fred.
Right, speaking of those types of movies, those are kind of the ones I'm pitching my kid because he'll say something like a quote and it'll be attributed in my brain to the movie, but they're not using it for the movie reference. It's just part of their culture. So we're watching Dude, Where's My Car? Dumbest movie ever produced.
God, it really
but
is.
There are so many quotes out of that movie that kids reference, like the tattoo thing.
Dude, what's mine say?
Sweet. Dude.
What's mine say?
Yeah, that back and forth.
Or and then. My kids will be like, and then.
Yes.
And I was like, you don't even know what that is.
You have to watch the movie because if you use the quote, you have to watch the movie. So that's what we're watching right now.
Oh,
How old's your son?
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
My kids know all kinds of movie quotes and songs from like things from when I was a kid. And I was like, how do you even know that? And they're like, YouTube. And I said, that's cheating. You don't even know. You don't even get the reference. Don't say it if you don't even get it.
Well, we talked about movies for like 45 minutes. What else is on your brains? I want to switch gears on this one. Anything else happening? Anything's going on? Anybody in comments? What do you want to talk about today? I don't think we have not been argumentative, confrontational. We haven't really brought up anything that gets.
I know our viewers love
out.
to watch us fight. Actually, they love to fight with us.
Fight with us,
yeah.
Because she and I agree on most things. Mike, you've been conciliatory. You've been good. You haven't argued back, except lost. You forgave them for the ending and said it was still good anyway.
Yeah.
You do have to watch Never Ending Story.
Yeah, well, give me some passions. Did I offend you on anything? Did I say anything that you want to push back on?
No.
Man, see, you're too agreeable.
Not too much.
We gotta fight on something.
A couple glasses of wine later, maybe. That's it, you know?
Yeah. What else? Do we really want to do politics at all? Because I haven't paid attention. So I'm besides the SAVE Act, I don't know what the hell's going on. TSA workers,
I kind of like
ICE
going
workers.
back to local supporting local.
Yeah.
And what that looks like. So I just recently, because I'm on this like trying to avoid added sugar kick, I was reading all kinds of labels at the grocery store recently, and I was looking at tomato sauce, and I ended up buying one from Our Lady Mount Carmel because I'm like, oh, that's local. I'm going to support local. Plus, it had no added sugar, so I got it. So what did they do then to get on that shelf and Mr. November's not on the shelf? Like, what's the red tape, or how does someone get in a Giant Eagle?
Distribution. I mean, having a distributor going through somebody. Like I said, a lot of my issues with not being, I guess, as successful as I would like to be are my own problems. Like, I could sit here and bitch about people don't carry it or people don't do this, but I need to accept responsibility that I don't have a sales team. I don't have people hitting, pounding the pavement 24/7, like returning phone calls and going places and doing all that. So I don't know exactly what they do to get on a shelf. It's not impossible. I mean, like Giant Eagle does carry local wines.
Yeah, they have
like
a section
like
that are dedicated.
I say Luvabella I've seen. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Marissa Sergi, the redheaded wine.
Yeah.
I watched what she had to do to get on those shelves because those shelves are so sought after.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that sounded risque.
What?
I watched what she had to do to get on those shelves.
Story later. But anyways, and she had to fight for it. I mean, she was determined to be there, and she didn't accept no's, and she just kept beaten over the head to get that shelf space, making weekly appearances, really getting so annoyingly involved that she bought her way into it just through complete stubborness. For sure. Yeah.
Like they carry my wine at
I
IGA.
agree, Dan.
Nemens, IGA, and Struthers.
I think you guys should get wasted off some Mr. November and then do the podcast.
I could open a bottle if you want some.
That'd be bad news.
Oh, we should have had that idea earlier. It's too late now, but
you'd be sleeping by noon.
Next
That's
time,
not a good thing.
Next time.
Yeah. What did you bring with you, by the way? Show off some of your stuff.
Are there any that are low sugar? Or how about gluten? Is gluten a thing? I don't think wine has gluten. I don't think it does.
They're low.
Look how pretty! Ooh, I love that purple. Ooh, I like that one too.
Good branding.
Chardonnay.
It's pretty. Girls, like if we don't know if the wine's any good, we just go off of labels. Ooh, where's the camera facing? Look at these.
Ratio.
Oh, look at these.
I have
girls that just shop based off of labels. They're pretty.
These I started doing.
What is that?
Oh, juice box.
Yeah, basically.
Stick of straw in the top.
Juice boxes.
Like if you're a bar and you don't want to open a bottle of wine, pour a glass, recork it, whatever.
Yeah, bagged
Those
wine.
are it's basically like a concept of.
It's like a big Capri Sun.
It is a Capri Sun.
Anybody want a big Capri Sun?
That's pretty cool.
Just tap it.
There's a Struthers baseball.
Oh, that's
where
cool.
My son played.
Could we get a Youngstown studio label?
You can, yeah.
Yes. Could we get
Noir. We both shared our love for Pinot Noir. Get us a label for Pinot Noir.
Can we get a Joe and Kelin Youngstown Talk Channel label?
Absolutely.
All right, so I will put it over here and make it purchasable. Are you allowed to sell wine as a studio?
Probably not.
Not without a license, but you can give it away.
I have this wine right here. This I just came out with. It's
Ooh.
It's called Bert's Blend.
Bert's Blend.
So when I
Tell me about this.
when I did the Lowville Wine Festival, like it was like 8 years. It was the first wine event I ever entered, and met Bert that day, and he was super cool. And people kept coming up to me like, I gotta try your white wine. Bert says it's the best. Bert says it's the best. And I ended up winning Lowville's wine contest that year, mainly because of Bert going around telling everybody. And over the years, I became friends with Bert, and he does. I'm probably gonna butcher this because I don't know all the facts or whatever. St. Baldrick's Foundation every year. They do the Shave Youngstown.
Yeah.
He's involved in that through Ashland's Alliance, and they raise money for kids with cancer and stuff.
I think he's commented on our show before.
Probably.
Talking about St. Baldrick's. Okay. Now I know who you're talking about.
Stuff. So I texted him like 2 weeks ago. I said, hey, I got some wine for the Shave Youngstown. I'm going to donate a case of wine. And he came to pick it up, and I showed him that label. He's like, what's this?
to honor him.
He's like, what's this? I'm like, well, congratulations, Bert. You have your own wine.
Nice.
That's so cool.
That's registered through Tax Trade Bureau, everything official. So Bert got his own wine. Bert's
That's
blend.
sweet. Awesome.
And we're going to start selling it this weekend. Got to ramp up production, and the proceeds of all the sales will go to Ashland's Alliance and help kids with cancer and all that stuff.
So now,
That's cool.
is that part of what you sell? Is like selling private labels of your product? Like
That's what
commercial-
I'm probably going to delve more into.
Okay.
So if you're a bar or a restaurant or a store and you don't want to carry Mr. November, that's fine. Carry your own product. I'll make.
Put
I mean,
their
I
label,
manufa- yeah.
make a blend for them.
Yes.
You
absolutely.
could even do all kinds of novelty, like
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
girls like, oh, it's my friend's 40th birthday, and you get a wine of like Sherry's 40th or whatever labeled, and it's her wine for that year. Like,
Oh, I mean, I
you
could
could do
definitely
all
do that.
kinds of
I've
stuff.
done that
Yeah.
before. I've made like graduation pictures and put them on bottles of wine or weddings and stuff.
yeah,
But to legally sell it probably would be not worth it to register and pay to have Sherry's 40th.
be a
birth- you know?
lot of work,
Yeah.
for what you would get
But
for
something
it.
like this, that could be sold anywhere.
Well, I'm thinking
You know.
corporate. Like, there's a company that will go down to Kentucky and they'll buy a case of bourbon
Mhm.
and they'll private label it, and then it'll be their company's bourbon that they give away or drink during their parties and have in their offices and whatever. And they love that it has their branding on it.
Yeah, I mean, if you go through
Yeah.
legal channels, yeah, you could put. I mean, you guys want your own wine? Sure, take a picture, put it on, you can sell it. Just find a place to sell it, and it could be legally
No
done.
shit.
Yeah, I mean, you just have
So
to
cool.
like fine print, produced and bottled by Mr. November Wine, Struthers, Ohio. It has to have the legal, it has to go through the legal channels.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not hard to just put whatever you want. Like the one with the kids baseball, that's not legal. Not selling it anywhere,
Right?
but
But giving
for
it
your
away,
collection.
yeah.
give it to the parents and stuff like that. So no, I mean, I could put anything on a bottle of wine.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
that'd be
is it New Wilmington in Pennsylvania years and years and years ago, there was a restaurant I would go to and they did not have a liquor license. They could not sell alcohol. But they would come up to your table and be like, "Would you like a complimentary beer or a glass of wine?" And I was like, "Complimentary?" They're like, "We can't sell it, but we can give it away." And I was like, "Well, all right.
I'll take two.
Heck yeah. We could totally do like some Youngstown Studio or Youngstown's Talk Channel, Joe and Kelin, MLO, 330 Sports Show. Like we could have a whole line of Youngstown Studio podcast wine bottles.
Mhm.
Could easily be done.
That would be
And I
so
can manufacture
cool.
them. Just give me a place to sell them, and have-
Interesting. Maybe I'll
Maybe Youngstown.
we'll do
or
a
Penguin
tasting, and I'm
City.
gonna pick my favorite. I think I could drink
Yeah.
not this weekend, but the following weekend. So I'll check your Pinot Noir, your Merlot. Those are going to be the likely winners for me. And we'll get a couple of them. What's your batches like? What's worth it for you to get minimum wise?
As far as production,
Like
how many-
if we label a dozen of them, like what's worth it while, so it's worth your effort.
It all depends. I mean, I'll do it just to do it. You know what I mean? I could. It's not a.
Okay.
So yeah, no. If you want a label, give me a picture.
Yeah,
Give me something.
sweet.
Go through. Pick whatever kind you want.
So
and-
BJ, get him a label.
So
and so we
cool.
can make a couple of these, and then we'll see if we can get it use our samples to talk to some of my friends, give some samples away, and
yeah, no,
see if
yeah,
we can get
definitely.
you
You
on a
could. Yeah, you want your picture on a bottle of wine? I'll do the
Yeah.
legwork and
shelf.
Comment,
Joe Danyi,
comment
tech
here
brilliant,
if you would purchase a Youngstown Studio bottle of wine.
because that'd be a great way to support us is buy our wine.
Yeah.
We
your
don't
last
wholesale-
name is what? Danyi.
Danyi.
Danyi Red instead of Dago Red, since Dago's a slur, so you get Danyi
It's
Red.
not a slur. She says it
I
is.
know.
I don't believe her.
I'm pretty sure it's
Listen,
not a
it's
good
not a-
word.
I don't think it's the best word, but I don't know any Italian people that get offended by Dago.
No.
I mean, if you
especially
said WAP,
yeah,
maybe that's a little different.
it's
but
one of those
Yeah.
things where I was referring to something that nobody would be offended. It's Dago Red. I wasn't being callous. I wasn't making fun of anything.
And speaking of which, because we've talked on this show before about words and bad words and words you can't say, and like almost how we get censored all the time. Like you can't say that. I was we were talking about Kid Rock, and funny enough, I heard a Kid Rock song on the radio, and it was Cowboy, where he says, "Cuss like a sailor, drink like a Mick," and it's not edited out. Well, that's kind of a slur for Irish. It's not a nice word, but it wasn't edited out. But
the next
for
word of the next line of that
sure.
song is something radio edit.
For sure.
So yes, the
Right.
reference and how
There
it should
are
have been edited.
other words that they are like, oh, you can't call somebody that, and they will edit it.
So,
And I was like, where's
all right.
the line?
So I'm Hungarian, right?
Yeah.
I'm a hunky, right? That's
Yeah.
what we refer to. Now, should I be insulted by a hunky? Should a Chinese be insulted by a chink? Should a Irish be is it Mick, right?
Yeah.
Like, which ones are insulting and are which ones just slang to talk about an ethnic group? I'm never offended if they say, hey, you're a hard-headed hunky, right? Not meant to be complimentary.
I knew
And I'm
somebody-
Like, yep, you nailed it.
Years ago, a good friend of mine's brother went by the nickname Cracker. Like introduced as that, owned that as a name. And I was like, isn't that like a offensive term? But like some offensive terms you cannot say. And then others are
Which
like,
ones?
but that's okay.
Which one?
You know, I feel like there's one.
Is there a bad one that
There's a
nobody
pretty bad
says?
one.
Do
There's a
do
pretty bad
do we
one you can't
reference
say.
it by a letter it starts with?
And it's in songs all the
Well,
time.
on that Cowboy, the album that Cowboy's on, Kid Rock has a song, Black Chick, White Guy, and he uses the N-word in it. And nobody's ever called him out on it or nobody ever said anything. I mean, 20 years ago when that album came out, but yeah, he uses the N-word in a song there.
Yeah, we do gymnastics around offensive things, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
like- Why is it offensive in one context, but it's not in another context? And calling this person that is too offensive, but calling this person that, nobody cares.
yeah, right.
Mm.
And some of them are, I would say them right now, and I can't think of a single person who would even call me on it because it's just part of lexicon, part of our normal flow.
Yeah.
And another one's like WAP, like Jap, which is Jap. No, I wouldn't get offended by Jap.
Actually, I feel like, did that used to
Jip,
be wrong?
Jip or Jap. I don't know. One of them are.
Oh, one begins with a G. You can't say.
G.
It sounds like nukes.
Gook.
Yeah. And
That's a bad one?
I think so.
Gook?
I'm pretty sure
that-
that's a slur.
Is that like Vietnam era? Is it gook? Is that a?
Because in the
World War
movie
II?
Gran Torino,
Mhm.
they use that word.
And
And
they
it's
use a lot of words in that movie.
Yeah. and it's-
Yeah.
That's
They were not
another.
fearful of word
That's
use, that is
another
for
good
sure.
one. By
You ever
the
see
way.
Clerks too?
Yes.
One of
Yes.
the funniest movies ever made.
Yeah.
And they'd go over the part of what's offensive.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
that whole scene is hilarious. But
Well, this segment on its own will get us canceled off of
Oh,
YouTube
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Because
And we're just exploring word usage. I'm not
Yeah.
even referencing any kind of group.
it's a lot of
yeah, I don't know what I'm allowed
Jack.
to say.
I don't know what that is.
But like when he's got it on his back, it's like, oh no, I'm bringing it back.
Yeah.
Clerks
I
2 is
knew a
great.
girl-
Clerks 2 is a great movie.
When I was working down south, I met someone who was British, and we were chatting one day, and she's like, "Oh, what'd you do for dinner last night?" She's like, "Oh, I went out for chinky," and I said, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I went and got some chink food," and I said, "You mean like Chinese food?" And she goes, "Yeah," and I said, "I don't think you can say that," and she's like, "What? Why not?" She had no idea. She's like, "I
As
just
she
thought
should.
that's
None
what
of us
they
should know
call
that.
the food." Yeah, and I was like, "I'm pretty sure that's not a good word." I said, "Don't ever use that word in front of a Chinese person." And she had no idea. She had no idea that would have been offensive. So, I mean, do people get a free pass if they use a word and they didn't know it was offensive?
I blame the person that's being offended. Words don't hurt you. Like, was she referring into it in an insulting way?
It was in a
So-
a lovey way. It
If
was
you called me a
cute
hard-headed
way.
hunky, right?
Yeah.
I would laugh at you. Like, I would laugh with you that, yeah, I'm pretty hard-headed because Hungarians are usually stubborn and hard-headed like I am.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, you're a stupid hunky, right? Then I'd be like, which one I offended? The stupid part or the hunky part?
Yeah.
It'd be the stupid part. And if you just said, you're stupid, I would be insulted in the same way because that is literally the insult part of what you're saying, not the hunky part.
See, if you're a Chinese person and you like got offended by what chink,
Yeah.
I don't think they would be offended as long as you hurried up and bought.
Hurry up and what?
Hurried up and bought.
But yeah,
Hurry up and buy.
exchange the money and they're fine with
Yeah,
it.
that's all they care about.
All
Hurry
right.
up and buy. You heard that from I forget what movie is it. Hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy.
Hurry, everything's
Not
10
in
minutes.
today's parlance. Look at the Tourette's guy. Yeah, we're so overly sensitive to that. I think since George Carlin stopped desensitizing us to the word usage and lecturing us on how to talk about sanity.
How about then we have to get apparently you have a Kid Rock story.
Yeah, it's Danny. Yeah, he's
How about the
It's gonna be good, I feel.
did you hear about the woman who got fired from HGTV for the N-word that I believe she said completely accidentally. Did you see this?
Mm-mm.
So this was maybe a month ago or several weeks back. She was doing some sort of home makeover something. She was working on something. And she went to just say any rhyming word. She said booger. And she's like, booger. And just to roll off the tongue like booger wooger or silly willy or something, she just went to say drivel, but said the N-word because it rhymed.
And he got fired.
And she
over
goes, like instantly went like this. She goes, oh my God, why did I say that? You have to edit that out. You have to take that out. Well, somebody released that and she's been fired from HGTV.
See, that's dumb. That's dumb.
And now she's going around like, I am not a racist. I would never. I was just saying silly words. I just thought a silly sound would come out. Like, and I rewatched that video over and over. The moment that sound even left her mouth, she went, oh my, what did I just say? Like, in no way, shape, or form meant to say it and certainly did not mean it in an offensive way and lost her job and has been labeled a racist.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing with language?
Mm-hmm. So back to the story.
Kid Rock.
There's more to this. I want to make sure we get to it.
No, there was a bunch of us went to see Kid Rock. I've been a Kid Rock fan forever. Like when people say, "Oh, I liked him before everybody," I'm probably that guy that did like him before everybody. So I mean, I've been a huge Kid Rock fan for a long time. There was like, I don't know, maybe like 20 of us. We went to Star Lake, Kid Rock. My buddy Frank drove, and he worked for Penn Power, so he drove up his van, and I had his work stuff in it. So I grabbed the neon vest that was in the back of his van and brought it in with me.
Oh, God.
And after just drinking a lot, being on the lawn, I was like, screw this. I'm going on stage. And I did. I walked by probably 30 security guards.
Everybody thought you were
nobody
official
said a word to me. Nobody
capacity,
said a word.
Yeah.
I mean, in today's day and age, you talk about like, how did this guy get in or how did this person, get past security? They probably had a neon vest on.
Yeah.
So I walked by like 20 security guards and I'm just on the side of the stage, drinking my hand, pyro going off and shit's crazy on. I'm like, I'm going to talk to Kid Rock. I just started walking towards stage. And then that's when I got snatched up by security.
Oh,
wow.
So I didn't make it
he
that
got
far.
very far.
I didn't make it that far.
Did you get kicked out or just off the stage?
Oh, they kicked me out.
Of the whole concert?
Yeah. And I
I
got arrested for criminal trespassing.
You did?
Yeah.
You are a rebel.
Wow.
But a friend of mine went and she was sitting like, I don't know, she was like sitting like real good seats. And she told me before, she's like, I'm going with my friend. I could get you, I'll meet you out, around the corner or something, get our tickets so you could come sit with us and sit up close. And then she's like, I'm calling you. You're not answering your phone. And I look up and I see you standing on the side of the stage. And she's like, well, there's a dude that I was supposed to bring down for these good seats. He's on stage. So
Worth it?
It was cool. It was a good time. I mean, I got about as close as I'll probably ever get to the guy,
Okay.
So
now what do you think of Kid Rock now versus when?
I'll still go see the guy. He still puts on a great show. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the stuff he does politically, but that's my opinion. I try not to let it interfere with like I like this dude.
Your appreciation for his music.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So, I'll still listen to him and I'm not going to cancel anybody because he likes a guy that I don't like or something like that.
Yeah. Beautiful. But, see more of that.
What if the artist you like though said,
really
if you don't agree with me, don't listen to my music? What would you do?
Well, you guys talk. I'm going to go pee real quick.
Because that happens a lot too.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on what you're trying to get out. If you're a musician and you're like, hey, vote for this guy or do this or do that, just do whatever.
Yeah, like when Kid Rock, when he spoke out about, was it Bud Light that he got all mad at and was like shooting up Bud Light cans? You remember that when he went through that? Like, would you be the kind of person that was like, I'm not drinking Bud Light anymore either? Or you're like,
no, because I like Bud Light. And I drink Bud Light, but when I saw Kid Rock in Youngstown, that was like right in the middle of all that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you would have been walking around with a Bud Light in your hand, you would have probably got your ass beat.
Do you know,
people are like, cancel culture. We nothing offends us. Like, yeah, dude drinking a Bud Light, you were going to beat him up.
I didn't want to go see Kid Rock because I'm like older millennial, Kid Rock era. I was too afraid, because like you said, he came here just sort of right in the height of all that political fighting. And I said, I can't bring myself to go to a show that I think there's going to be too much drama around. Like Aaron Lewis, same thing. Aaron Lewis gets pretty outspoken politically. And I'm just like, I just don't feel safe in a big crowd at a show that I know someone might come there just really, really disagreeing with them.
Yeah.
I would be scared.
When you have people that are like, keep politics out of sports or keep politics out of music. And then Kid Rock, for example, you have 10,000 people chanting "fuck Joe Biden" and it's all political on the screen, everything like that. It's like, why is that acceptable? But somebody else isn't allowed to, say whatever. I don't know.
Do you know who do we have? Do we have some people coming to the amphitheater this year? I'm trying to think who I even heard is coming this year. BJ, do you know? Put it up on the screen if you know. I feel like they've got some people booked. I've not actually been to a show at the amphitheater yet because I wasn't living here when it first came about and got started. So I haven't been yet. Joe, do you know who, if anyone, is set to come to the Youngstown amphitheater this year?
No, I didn't look at the schedule.
They're doing.
I haven't heard either.
Is it at YSU or is it at the amphitheater though? They're doing 2 days, I think, for 2 country people.
That does sound familiar. A country artist. And I just saw they've got a lineup already for used to be called the Rib Burn Off. What is it now? Like Ribs and Rock something at the mall.
Yeah, that's kind of
Charlie Crockett, Joe Bonamessa, and Government Mule.
Probably nobody. We were talking about.
I think they moved it to YSU, maybe. The Youngstown. I think.
When Kid Rock performed, I was too nervous to go because it was too political and I was scared of who might show up. I don't go to
Jason Aldean, Travis Tritt, Eric Church.
Yeah, that's the Y Live thing that they
Stanbaugh Stadium.
Because it got canceled last year maybe?
Charlie Crockett. I don't know who Charlie Crockett is. Do you guys?
Where's he coming?
Amphitheater.
Oh.
All right.
30 Seconds to Mars. Where's 30 Seconds to Mars?
They're coming to the amphitheater?
Are they coming here? That would be pretty cool. Do you guys like 30 Seconds to Mars?
I'm a huge 30 Seconds.
Jared Leto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ribs and Rock has a good lineup.
Yeah.
They always have the Clarks, and I do like the Clarks.
Somebody will back out. Like, I think Puddle of Mud and...
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Like, last year was supposed to be Creed or Scott Stapp, maybe, solo. And then, like, 2 days before, they were like, we can't get Scott Stapp, so we're going to get Fuel instead.
Oh, really? I didn't know that happened. Yeah, I just saw, like, on the mall, they were advertising the two big names. It's usually like a 90s.
Trapped. Nice.
Trapped. Yeah, that was it. Puddle of Mud, Trapped, the Clarks. I was watching The Pit the other day and they opening scene opened with a Clark song. I was like, you gotta have the Clark. Do you watch The Pit?
I hear good things. I hear a lot of good things about it, but
I like it. I've been watching it. My daughter and I have been following it, and it's entertaining, but it's very woke. It really is. I keep telling Joe, like, I want him to see it just to watch his head explode.
Won't do it.
Every single social issue there is, every single one, they call it out directly. It's not subtle. It's worked into the storyline. It's like, why don't you just talk into the camera and say how you feel about this social issue? It's so blatant. But other than that, and the only reason I don't like it is because it's so blatant. Like, I don't even mind if you want to address the social issue, but you're lecturing about it. So other than that, I like the show.
Have you guys either of you seen Marshalls? The Yellowstone
No, I've heard of
spin-off?
it, but I've not seen it.
It's basically Casey from Yellowstone, and he becomes a marshal. And I want to watch it, but Yellowstone started going off of that path too, and I bailed on Yellowstone.
Did they?
Did.
I still never did.
Eventually, I
catch
just
the
gave
end.
up on them. So,
and now they have Dutton Ranch is starting this summer, and Beth and Rip are back. Those characters doing their own thing.
Springback Walker, Texas Ranger.
Let's do. Well, we're
can't do that
now.
now.
Damn it!
Get Ryan Gosling to play him.
He'll bring it back. He'll bring it back.
And you will attribute the success of that show not on the original, but on Ryan Gosling. He is now Walker, Texas Ranger.
I just saw something that was like, did Chuck Norris die, or did the Grim Reaper retire and He just became the new
there's
Grim
a
Reaper
there
or
was a
something like
million
that.
Jokes on that dude.
He's the new Grim Reaper.
Yep.
There was a video he said where he's like, when I do push-ups, I'm not pushing myself up. I'm pushing the ground down.
What about the Dune trilogy? Do you follow any of those? Watching those?
I never did
No.
see any of
There's
those.
I
another
think I
one
watched
coming out.
like when I was a kid, maybe Dune was out, and then I never saw any of the new ones.
Yeah.
No
You know
desire
what
to.
else does very well, and I've never seen it, is Avatar. Like that film franchise made all kinds of money, and
Mhm.
I still have never
I
seen
saw the
any of
first
it.
two.
I've never watched any of those.
And
Yeah.
they made a spoof movie. They called it Pandora, and it's like a satire of making fun of the original.
Really?
Yeah, Well, my kid was like, "Hey, I want to go see the third, whatever it's called," and I was like, "Cool." And I just went. And I saw, "Oh, it's available," and I bought it. Pandora. It was not the original. It was the spoof.
Not what this
Scary
is.
movie. What is it? 7 coming out now too? I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that shit.
Those were done pretty well.
It looks
Really?
so
for what
good.
they always did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love like they are outright saying we are coming after everyone in this. We are making fun of everybody. There's already some people speaking out saying that they think it's offensive based off the trailer, and they're like, "Good, I hope it is." They're like, "Go cry about
The
it. We
list, I
don't
think,
care."
was 19 spoofed movies, and it was the count.
Wow. Oh yeah, they're making fun of like woke culture. They're making fun of
Scream,
everything.
Get Out, Megan, Terrifier 3, Sinners, Long Legs, The
Smile.
Substance, Smile, Halloween, Weapons.
Heretic. I just watched that. You ever see that one?
Mm-mm.
I think is it Heretic. What's his name is in that movie? The British actor from Notting Hill, Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant. It's all based on like religion, and they have to like, I don't know. They're like locked in this guy's house, and he's testing them. And
Yeah, but
was all right.
Cindy's back for the Scream 7, but
yeah,
she's kind of aged, and when you watch it now, she's not the cute little blonde that's in Terror. Now it's just this old woman, and I don't know how they're gonna pull that off. Just not the same appeal that it once had. It's crazy.
Anna Faris.
Yeah.
This is why they're all injecting things into their faces and getting facelifts.
I just don't know if she can pull off the character anymore. She's kind of different.
She's aged. She's older now.
She looks different.
It's so funny. She goes to hug her friend who's black, and she's like, "I'd give you a hug, but I'm a Republican now, and I think that means I have to be racist." And I'm like, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Now we talked about movies. Money, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. Movies, music, and food are all that topic that you can bring people of all persuasions together.
Yeah.
And so that's when the politicization, like I'm never going to eat a Republican pizza or a Democrat pizza, right? I like pizza, right?
Pizza.
But you're listening to a Democrat song or a Republican song or a woke movie or a MAGA movie, like that's where they go wrong.
But people will try. Like people tried to separate each other with Chick-fil-A. And it was all like, does
Yeah, but
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A,
support
it's
gay
too good.
people? And
It's just too good to cancel.
Yeah,
There are
it
some things
survived.
that are too
it's
good to
God's
survive.
chicken.
Yeah.
Jesus chicken.
Jesus chicken.
I mean,
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A and probably Michael Jackson.
Yeah, they escaped what normally
good to
would have been
Yeah.
a casualty for sure.
There's a pizza story. One time I was at Casual Pint, just bullshit and whatever. Talking to some random guy. He was from like the Nashville area. He had just moved up here, and we're just having some beers. It's the first time I ever met the dude. And BS and he was ordering some food from there, and he's like, "Man, Justin, has great food," which he did. That place was awesome. And he's like, "I've been up in Youngstown. The only thing I don't like about Youngstown," he's like, "I can't find any good pizza in this area."
Oh,
And there's some girl
no,
sitting
you
like,
didn't.
There's like a girl sitting like 2 seats. Did he just say that? Other guy in the corner is like, what? And then for like the next 40 minutes, who's just being bombarded with amazing pizza places.
yes.
Probably like
What do you
you-
like, Papa John's?
You know what
little
this-
bitch?
you know what this
But
area
the only
needs?
thing about Youngstown, I can't find any good pizza in this
You
area.
know what this area needs is an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
When are we going to
You
get
gotta
one of
bring
those?
an Italian one this way.
It is funny when I moved back, or even because I lived down south in Georgia for almost 15 years. And every time I would come back to Youngstown, I would always say, there is a look to Youngstown people. There is a style. Like down south, women are very like sundresses and boots
Gone
and
with the wind.
stuff.
Exactly. Gone with the wind.
Kinda. And then you come here and everybody is long dark hair and dark clothes. and dark nails and dark, like there is just like a Youngstown vibe and a style. To me, I like it. It's very like, it's more chic and stylish, I think. And down south, I think it's just more floral, flowy and casual, probably because it's hot as hell down there. But yeah, I always used to be like, if you want Italian, that's Youngstown. Italian, maybe in Greek.
Mm-hmm. Now, Jimmy says, shout out to Nicolini's. And let me tell you this. So my wife counts our dating anniversary as a real anniversary. And today is our 33rd dating anniversary.
Congrats!
Thank you. And so
that's
she said, deal. I want to go to a place that we haven't been to in a little while. And I was like, cool. What do you want? Because I like everything. And she started naming them. She goes, Nicolini's. We haven't been there in forever. So Nicolini's is where we're going tonight for our 33rd dating anniversary.
You know what sucks is being in this area and being gluten-free. It's sad.
We'll just solve that issue.
Yeah,
just fix it.
Just don't be gluten-free.
Yeah.
Come
on.
I could just fall off the wagon and oh my God, eat all the good stuff. It would be so good. But some places do, like Aquapazzo has gluten-free pasta, and I think Blue Wolf does, but Aquapazzo's is not bad. But
I've never been to Aquapazzo. The 2 times that I tried, they said you had to have a reservation, and I don't.
You've
work
never
like
been to
that.
Aquapazzo? I don't work like that.
It's good.
I don't know if I've had to do a reservation sometimes because they're busy, but usually you can like find a seat at the bar or something. You could just go eat.
I like VIP treatment. When I walk through the door, I really want the red carpet treatment.
You know how you get that?
How's that?
With a reservation.
Yeah. I bet you it would. I bet you that would work. But I don't play that game, so we got an impasse
here.
It's if they want my business, I walk in and the waitress or the hostess says, that's Joe Danyi, right?
Yeah.
And then the whole dominoes start falling around, and I get a velvet rope VIP reserves table.
Is that more important than the food? What if the food's not great?
Dude, you could give me saltine crackers, and if you give me the velvet rope treatment,
make me feel good.
That's the best restaurant in the valley.
That's why, like, I appreciate when people offer gluten-free stuff that's good, because I'm like, you really cared. You cared about this problem and the people you're serving, and if you offer it really good, like Rise Pies had a delicious gluten-free pizza, and they closed. And I was so sad. Mm-hmm. And supposedly they're going to open again somewhere else. I don't know where, and I don't know when. But yeah, like
they'll open on Market Street as Taco Bell. Rice Pies is gone. Sorry,
you offended the pizza man again.
Yeah,
so
no, they're not. I don't think they're coming back.
All right, so we're about to wrap up. Mike, why don't you? And thank you for joining us today. I think you did really well at joining our conversations. You fought just enough. You shared a lot of insights. Appreciate it. Why don't you tell everybody where to find your stuff if they want to purchase from you, how to get a hold of you and whatnot?
You could go to MrNovemberWine.com. There's contact information on there. Facebook, which I don't update regularly. I have a Facebook page, little QR code thing.
We should have asked why November. I don't even know if we have time now, unless it's a super quick story.
There's a song called Mr. November. It's probably my favorite song. So when I started making wine, I wanted a label because I could start giving it away or sell it or whatever. And it's like, what do you want to call it? And my buddy made me, my birthday's in November. So I was like, I'm going to call it Mr. November Wine. And then he created the logo. And I was like, that's it. I love it. So
it's cool.
Been Mr. November ever since.
Very good.
Cool. You can get IGA and Struthers, Brutish drive-through, Eagle Grill and Tavern, Bogies, Twisted Roots downtown carries it. It's hard to get in places downtown. You know, they don't call you back.
I'm going to tap some shoulders here.
So
I will
anything. And like I can make product for anybody. I'm a wine manufacturer. I'm not a winery. So you're not competing with I think a lot of places would be like, I don't want to carry a competing wine because what if they like it and you go to that winery instead?
Yeah.
I just manufacture wine. So I could label, I could do anything with wine. If you like sweet, I could add sweeteners. If you like dry, I could make it dry. So whatever you like.
I like it all.
No gluten. I don't have gluten.
See, selling point with some extra TLC in it. At least 6 grams of TLC.
TLC. Every bottle.
Every bottle. Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. If once a week, at least once a week, we're going to bring in somebody from the community, either in business or with charities or organizations. So if you think you can sit down in the hot seat like Mike did today and join Kelin and I to talk about our regular stuff, get in contact with Youngstown Studio. Anyway, we'll catch you next time.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on